Folks, very rarely is Donald Trump left at a loss for words, but even more rarely is he stunned stupidly silent by a brave reporter who makes a total fool of him in front of the entire world, in front of Canada's Prime Minister in the Oval Office on live TV. But today, folks, is not just your normal Tuesday because I have exactly that instance coming up for you in this video, and somehow everyone seems to have missed it. But that is probably understandable given what was transpiring before and at the same time as the instance that I'll show you in this breaking story. Because the humiliation did not start in this moment. In fact, it was a gradual but sublime buildup, as Trump was repeatedly humiliated by Canada's Prime Minister Mark Carney, specifically in this now viral moment where Trump gets fact-checked and shut up directly to his face.
Well, we don't do much business with Canada from our standpoint.
Respectfully, Canadians' view on this is not going to change on the 51st state. Secondly, we are the largest client of the United States in the totality of all the goods. So we are the largest client of the United States. We have a tremendous auto sector between the two of us, and the changes that made have been helpful. 50% of a car that comes from Canada is American. That's not like anywhere else in the world. And to your question about is there one thing? No, this is a bigger discussion. There are much bigger forces involved, and this will take some time and some discussions, and that's why we're here, to have those discussions, and that is represented by who's sitting around.
What a brilliant takedown directly to Trump's face right there from Canadian PM Mark Carney, while still being incredibly stately and polite, as all Canadians do, and I respect the hell out of him for that. Shutting down Trump's bonehead lie about not doing much trade with Canada when they are literally our biggest trading partner. Also notice these two limp dick lackeys over here just sucking it all up, not even pushing back. And before we get to the brave reporter humiliating Trump in that moment that kind of slid by everyone's radar, you did, of course, have a couple moments where Trump absolutely humiliated himself, like this one right here, where you see a bit of him just being an embarrassment to our country, as well as some of his dementia slipping in. Take a listen, and then we'll talk about this.
I love Canada. I have a lot of respect for the Canadians. Wayne Gretzky, I mean, how good, the great one. You happen to have a very, very good hockey player right here on the Capitals, who I have a lot of respect. He is a big, tough cookie, too. Just broke the record, and he's a great guy. And
not only does he say, I love Canada because Wayne Gretzky, like you asked a toddler why they enjoyed Canada. But the person he's talking about on the Capitals that set the record is actually Alex Ovechkin, and he's Russian. Not that he was trying to say like, oh, this guy's Canadian, but you can see how his brain connection is just like, oh, hockey, there's another guy, and the guy I'm thinking of is actually Russian. It just doesn't make sense, it doesn't track, and it's something that the hosts of Shrinking Trump talk about a lot, these weird connections. Shrinking Trump, of course, on the Really American channel, so drop a like, subscribe, and put on notifications so you get notified when they drop new episodes every Friday. Last moment before we get to the utter humiliation from this reporter. And this is so funny because it is just Trump completely backing down and being a total bitch boy after all the big talk he did about annexing Canada and just laughing and letting Mark Carney walk all over him. Watch this.
As you know from real estate, there are some places that are never for sale.
that's true.
We're sitting in one right now, Buckingham Palace that you visited as well.
That's true.
And having met with the owners of Canada over the course of the campaign last several months, it's not for sale, won't be for sale ever. But the opportunity is in the partnership and what we can build together. And we have done that in the past. And part of that, as the president just said, is with respect to our own security.
Right, and immediately after that, Donald Trump took questions from reporters, and this one reporter stunned this man stupid after he gave this humiliating answer to her question. It's a little hard to hear, so I'll try and crank up the volume, but I'll play it again for you afterwards so you can hear it.
Top concession you want out of Canada, the top concession you want out of Canada.
Concession?
Yes,
Friendship.
but that's not a concession.
No, we're going to be friends with Canada.
Top concession you want out of Canada, the top concession you want out of Canada.
Concession?
Yes,
Friendship.
But that's not a concession.
No, we're going to be friends with Canada.
So if you couldn't hear it there, she says, what are some top concessions you want from Canada? He says, concession? Obviously you heard that. She's like, friendship as the concession. And she just goes deadpan and says, friendship's not a concession. And he just goes, Again, folks, this is the face of a man who didn't have all his marbles to begin with, but he is just consistently losing them over and over and over again. So huge shout out to Mark Carney for shutting the dipshit and teeth down. And it just goes to show, no matter how hard you try, no matter how nice you are, you can't fix stupid, folks. And with that, if you appreciate these things being called out and no BS reporting that cares more about facts than MAGA's feelings, then drop a like and join our resistance here at Really American by subscribing to the channel to help us reach our goal of 1 million strong Trump resistance. For Really American, I'm Kenny Hesse, and I'll see you all in the next one.